Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to France 1914. Well, France 14. Now, this is a John Tillard game, so that means a rather large size. Now, this scenario is the Siege of Antwerp, or basically the defense of Antwerp, the attack on Antwerp, depending on which side you play as. Today, we are playing as the Allied forces, so as Belgium right now. This simulates the very start of the war, basically, the attack on Antwerp, that sort of thing. So the game is rather large. You can have, well, let's see here, this tab over here, this basically, you can like jump to different sides of the front. But on the full campaigns, my lord, you can have the entire campaign. It is massive. Hundreds of divisions of infantry. Huge numbers of men. And you get to control all of it if you so wish. Right then, so we have the defense of Antwerp. So what we're going to do then is we're going to quickly take this up over here so I can draw on the defensive lines. So over here we have Antwerp in the centre. Now Antwerp actually has walls and defences. So this is Antwerp over here, the city as well there. So this is our inner defensive lines on the outside. So we'll go with yellow for Belgium. So this is our defensive line on the outside. We also have a large build-up of troops here. But these are our fortified positions, basically. We have forces here, a good number actually, so I'll carry that line on. Though we are seeing some indications of German movement. So I'll take this off right here, and then I'll continue. Right then, so you can zoom in as well, and you can get a better view of the battlefield. You can see the height of the terrain, and there's a nice model of the cities, and just in general, that sort of thing. Don't get me wrong, it looks pretty rough. This is about 6 years old, but it still looks pretty rough for that time period. But well. It's the gameplay that matters. So over here we have divisions. So we have a cavalry division over here. Cavalry, some infantry here. Now each of these counters tells you quite a lot. You can see here this cavalry division, so we have cavalry division here. It has 117 men. It has 42 movement points and it is in travel mode. Now travel mode is what you have to imagine, say with a line, well, say with an infantry division. Instead of them spreading out and moving undercover, cautiously, I suppose you could say. Instead of that, they're in their nice, neat columns. They're basically travel mode. They're basically moving as fast as possible in this most efficient method, which is not always the most protected method. So that's what that means. These guys are in travel mode. That's why it's a T there. So let's take a look at this train then. So we have these over here telling us that these are worth so many points as their objectives. What do we have over here? We do have some guns. Sweet. Right, so these units are fixed for right now, and we also have a headquarters over here. Now, I've only had probably at most, maybe about half an hour's experience for the game, just to get used to how the mechanics work. I'm not 100%, but I thought I would show you guys this game. I've had it since about last week. I managed to get it probably the latter half of my paycheck, and then I thought, hey, why not go for something interesting to show people? So, right then. Now we are defending Antwerp against the Germans. I suppose what would be prudent is, if we can see over here, we have like what looks to be rivers, possibly streams, that sort of thing. It does look like rivers, actually. Well, we have the main river here, so these could be small streams, or just generally ditches, that sort of thing. Canals, possibly. Belgium does have quite a few rivers. The Netherlands does as well, so it's that kind of area that we're working with. The Benelux countries, basically. The Benelux region. These bridges are very important, actually. If I could try and delay the advance here on this bridge, that would slow down the Germans quite a lot. As the movement cost along roads is reduced, and obviously along these roads it would not be as bad, but still, you would have to use more points, while on these nice, lovely roads here, you wouldn't have to use anywhere near as much, so that's good to take note of. Which is nice, it makes routes like this quite valuable to hold on to. So, we have about 2,000 infantry holding that bridgehead there. That's fair enough. What I might do then is, let's see. We'll push up these cavalry. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select that cavalry. We're going to drag it like that and move it up. So we still can't see the infantry here. well, the cavalry here. I'll assume they're a small unit around 170. So, let's see, what could we possibly send to support them? I'll send this other cavalry division. So move like this. There we go. So we now have quite a few men over here. And, I'm going to change from travel mode. There we go, so you see how much movement that used. But they should be more effective now that they're not in travel mode. Now, I do have these cavalrymen over here. So we can also double tap, well, double click on this stack actually, to select the units. What we'll do then is we'll start moving forward with that bridgehead. We've not seen anything. Oh, hello. Okay, so we've actually found some German guns and some German... possibly, right, reserve division, okay. Now, I can turn off this, so let's find, right, okay. Looking for objectives. It's quite an old UI, I guess you could figure that one out. Yes, okay. So we did lose quite a few men there, but we have found a German position. It looks to be dug in, actually. Now, I do believe there's a mode here. Let's see. I shall find you. Units off. There we go. So you can see here the Germans have a fortified position. It's not that good. It's not as good as these positions over here. So you can see here improved 20% or minus 20%. Now, I believe that means it's minus 20% to the enemy while you gain. Like over here, the fort gives the enemy minus 60% and plus 30 to us. Everybody's out over here, minus 20 plus 10. So it's pretty sweet. I mean, we have like what looks to be walls here. And not really anything too dangerous for a modern army. But these fortresses are quite handy. Right then, so I'll go back into here. I have the units back on. So we now know there's a position over here that we're not going to have any luck cracking. So, I shall move over to this position here. So we'll double tap you, bring you over here. I'll move you out of travel mode so you can put up a little bit more resistance if possible. There we go. I do have some cavalry here. The infantry. I think I'll move the infantry up. So let's move a division up this way to this bridgehead. But then again, we do have quite a few forces over here, though we are rather light on the ground in these areas. Kind of on the flanks that we're weak. Yes, you can see here all the streams, rivers, just the small things like that. But this does make a huge impact on the game. Okay. Right, we have what looks to be an engineer division over here, possibly. Alright, we'll select you, and you. Gather you up. Move you down to this town over here, this village. Gather the numbers here. Now, what the plan is... Actually, what I'll do is I'll send forward one division. One company of infantry. Sorry, cavalry! God! You can tell I am not on the ball today. Right, there we go, we found some Germans. This looks to be a cavalry division. Okay. So move forward these units. Okay, we did lose a few men there. So we can press this button here. Right, we don't have anybody selected. And we don't have any movement points. Actually, I think it's because we can't quite see the enemy that we can't quite fire. Right, that would be going into assault mode. We may have to do that, though I'd rather not. So we'll ignore that one for now. In fact, these two units here can move on, so I'll take them forwards to the village here. Oh, I guess I can't because of the assault, okay. Right, cancel that assault, there we go. So I'll select you guys. Okay. I would like you to move. Right, okay. Something's up here. Okay. Oh well, we'll move on then. As you can tell, I am not familiar with the game, really. So we can press this button over here, takes us to different stacks that have not moved. So that's fair enough. Ideally, I'd like to stay behind rivers and that sort of thing, make it harder for the German forces to try and get to me. That would be most beneficial. I will move these forces up over here. What do we have here? Some artillery, command, and machine guns by the looks. Move that over there. Okay. Basically, just move our forces. I'll have these infantry over here, then at least I can see what's coming. Cavalry, my god, I'm doing terrible today. Move you over here. Okay. Now, I'll move one division here. We'll have you move up to the bridge. Lovely. You can move over here to the bridge too. Right, 9 men loss. That's not too bad then. We can make do with that. So we do have some guns over here. Now, I do believe I should be able to fire. You can tell I am not used to artillery. Should be a button here somewhere. Artillery dialogue, okay. So you can see here we have these units. Select unit, then right click on the map to plot. Okay, so we can see the range here. That's good then. At least we can use that. So I guess these guns aren't quite ready yet. That would make sense. Okay. Now we've made some preliminary movements over there. I'll take a division down here. Switch back to travel mode. There we go. A few more points. Move you up there. There we go. Just about enough. So I'll try and hold the bridges. If we can try and do that, the scenario is only about 10 turns, so we'll just try and make it difficult for the Germans. Right, these forces are fixed. Not much I can do about that then. Okay. We have you over here. I'll take both of these gentlemen, I'll start moving them that way. There we go. Now ideally I'd like to have another division on top of these guns. Basically as they are incredibly valuable. And they do give us quite a lot of firepower. So ideally I'd like to try and keep them well safe. Okay. So I've quite a few forces over here. Righto. You men. Out of command. Basically, you have what's similar to getting good experience on the east and that sort of genre. You have to be so many hexes away from your HQ. If you're not, you're like out of command and therefore you receive less supplies, and etc, etc. Quite standard stuff, really. Quite standard. Okay. So we'll have a look around and we'll see if we can find anything worth particularly moving. There's quite a few units here. I'll move these guys in the back. Move them here. Save you guys. Actually, we'll have you move down here to the bridge. Do I not have enough command points? Movement points? Right, there we go. Not enough there. Fair enough. Move you up there. Okay. We'll move some more infantry this way. What do I have at the rear? I have some more men here. So I'll take these men and I'll put them about here. And then at least then on the road they can move fairly quickly to support parts of the line. I'll have one division move up to this road. This division can move over here. And this way we can kind of like hold those roads, make it a little bit harder on the German forces. Kind of the name of the game. Right, we do have some more reserves here. So I'll have these reserve forces move up here. And they can act as reserves for these areas. Okay, there's a hell of a lot of units to move, even in the small scenario. So what we're going to do then, as this is just basically a little show and tell, we're going to have the game just run on. So we'll have a turn go on to the next. So we'll just save the battle here, yep. Okay, now the Germans will take their turn there. And all hell is going to break loose, as they have artillery in position to fire. Now artillery, when it hits a stack, it does the most damage to one stack randomly, and then differential damage to the other units of the stack. Okay. Right, well, that was fairly short. So we see here, visibility is worsening, air units are available, 17 out of 27 HQs are out of command, 1 unit has been disrupted, okay. Units stocked, units recovered losses, yeah, 35 recovered losses, 57 units recovered fatigue. Fair enough. Right then. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward with these cavalrymen. So we'll move across the bridge. Right, we have encountered the enemy. I'm also going to move these guys. We're going to come out of travel mode if possible. Right, we do not actually have enough point to do that. So, we'll move them on anyway. They might be able to fire. Okay. So get these guys. Right, they do not have enough movement points to assault. So I'll select you. Go into firing mode. There we go. So we didn't do too much damage. But it's a small unit, so you're not going to see huge losses instantly. But we did take out a few of those men, so that's not too bad. And now these guys may be able to fire too. Yep, there they go. There we go. Only 2 men lost. Not too much, but still, it's something. Now the real bread and butter of the cavalry is the assaults. Basically your chargers. So what we're going to do then is we're going to gather up here, and we're going to charge into these guys. Oh no, it adds to assault. Basically that's going to impact us negatively. But we now have an assault over here. So what you can do is you can go over here and resolve the assault. So we did actually push them back. Now they are disrupted, so they are going to be less... Yep, but we also have a disrupted unit here, so I'm going to take these guys and attack once more. Okay, one of the units does not have enough to assault, but we'll go for it again. There we go. So we did lose 7 men, but we did inflict 18 losses upon the enemy, and we have driven them back from their position here, which is quite good. At least this way we can make sure we have a larger front line. Well, at least more room to breathe, I suppose you could say. So I'm going to move up some infantry over here. This is basically just forming a line, forming like a outer defensive line. As you can see here, we have our defensive lines clearly set in stone, but it does not hurt to take a preemptive stance on things. So if our commanders over here, basically the king here. Okay. Now we are not seeing any German forces in other sectors of the front right now, so that's not too bad. We do have these guys over here. So what we'll do then is we'll go in for an assault. We do have 4 units here, well, yes, 170 men in each, almost. So a good number of men. We'll take these guys and we'll assault into here. Okay, and we'll resolve. There we go. Wow, look at that damage. Yeah, we broke that cavalry division. So we inflicted... Sorry, I should say brigade. That's a little bit odd. I'm so used to seeing divisions most because it says division there. But we inflicted a hell of a lot of losses there and basically broke that unit. Now we still have quite a few movement points, but I'd rather... we could assault again, but we are assaulting across the river, so we're going to take a higher penalty. So what we'll do then is we'll leave that guy over here. We'll take these guys here. Move up a hex. There we go. Select all of you guys. Go over here. Now, let's see. So we can show odds here. Ah, well, there you go. Resolve the assault. Okay, nowhere near as good. But still not bad. We did break a unit over here. Right, so these guys are fixed. Fixed, okay. I want a division on each of those guns, in all honesty. So we'll just move as far as possible. Which, unsurprisingly, is not far. Okay. So we do have air missions here. So we have the 3rd section, 6 Maurice Farman, reconnaissance basically, so we'll have those come in. Now we can see some units over here. So we have the German headquarters here. We have a unit here of engineers, and they are capable of building bridges. Bridges can be destroyed in the game and damaged in the game, and henceforth they require work by engineers to make them usable. So it's all pretty straightforward. Can we use any artillery on them? Combined breakdown, artillery dialogue. I don't think there's any range. Yeah, sure they're going over here. Okay, let's take a look at the help. Sorry, that popped up on the other screen, so that's not too much help. And not for you it is. Right, so we do have these guns here. I wonder... They're not in travel mode. I suppose they're just not usable right now. Oh, also, one more thing I do need to talk about is you are seeing letters on these divisions. Now, basically, it indicates their ratings as a unit. So, D is, not good. C is better. B would be even better than that. A would be even better than that. You can have E's, and yeah. So we have A's over here. So these are our top creme de la creme troops, really. E's over here, yeah. They're basically conscripts called up to defend the city, I suppose you could say. I would not fancy being the Germans. You can see why it would take them some time to actually take Antwerp. But they do have the siege guns, which are incredibly powerful. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use the cavalry just to push up, just to look for the Germans. And if I can be a general nuisance, then I definitely will be. Ah, here we go. Now, we did lose 10 men for that. But we have discovered that there are German forces over here, so what we can do then is turn tail and run. Ooh, that's cost us quite a lot, man. Go to the other side of the bridge. What I'll do then is bring up some cavalry to support them. There is supply in the game, but I do not know too much about it, so I don't feel too comfortable trying to explain that one. So I'll leave that for another time. Right, we'll start moving some men forwards, as we know the Germans are coming from this direction too. I'd imagine they're coming from this direction as well. Would be unlikely that they would not. Do we have any free divisions over here that I could send over here to support our flank? Not really. These men are fixed for the moment. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. Take a division. Move them as far as possible. And we'll hold on for the time being. Now we do have another go at this, but I think I'll take these guys back, if I can. Or not. Fair enough. Disrupted. Not good. So we can also see here fatigue, morale. Yeah. Well, basically unit quality is kind of like the morale. It's an interesting concept. It's quite a solid concept once you get the basics of it. But if it's your first time, it is a little bit weird. Right, man. So you can see here these stop signs. Basically, this represents congestion, so you move slower through the city. We also have over here warning signs over here. Basically, that's saying that bridge is damaged. Over here we have broken rails, so these have been deliberately broken and destroyed to slow down the German advance. Okay. Righto. We'll have the turn go by. Oh dear. We are being shelled. Oh, we've been assaulted, I believe. Ah. Intriguing. I don't know how many men makes up that unit. Well, they're brave. They are very brave. So I believe what I'll do then is we'll go through maybe one more turn, or depending on how long this turn is. Right, there we go. So units are low in ammo. Now this is a very small scenario. As such, you're not seeing too much. You know what, actually what we'll do then is we'll find a bigger scenario. So, let's see. We'll go for a new scenario. Well, actually, I'll go to the full... So we're going to click no. We're going to hit France 1914. Yeah, you can tell it's quite old. Oh dear. The oldies are the best ones though. So we can see here. Right, so we're going to sort by length. We'll go for the longest. So we have the campaigns here. 246 turns, this would be the largest campaign. The Race to the Sea. So we'll just have this with manual. And let's take a look at this front. It is huge. Absolutely colossal. But John Tiller, well, John Tiller games are known for that. Which is pretty sweet. When the game has finished loading. Right, okay, here we go. Okay, so we can zoom out to the maximum, and we're not seen anywhere near the entirety of the front. We'll click this, and yes, you can see over here. Look how big this is. We can move over here. Zoom right in, get right into the action here. Just individually take command of every one of them. So we have no units to come, so that would be the reinforcements tab. But then we can move over here to Belgium and see the defense of Antwerp. So this is kind of what we were working with before, which is pretty cool. You can play the entire war pretty much day by day. I believe each turn is about 3 hours. So for the cities over here, we can go over to settings and let's see. It's here somewhere. View. Locations. There we go. Now, I do wish this was on all the time. There must be a way to do this, though I'm too silly to find that one out yet. But it would be fantastic. But what we can do then is we can see all these here. We can select them, and we'll jump over there. So you can see it's a very large map. It's basically the entire front line. We even had Dunkirk over there. Pretty cool. I mean, over here, we do have all the French infantry, the French divisions marching out to the front line. So we are seeing Germans over here as they start to make their advances on the French defensive line. Though, this is where the main push of the Germans is going to come from, in the Schlieffen Plan. Indeed. So I have quite a large city over here. Lovely. But yes, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I may bring more gameplay out in the future. It depends on really how comfortable I feel in my abilities in the game. Though I do enjoy games like this, I'm a sucker for this sort of management style, and just I like to be able to take charge of my forces. I don't like the abstraction too much. It depends, really. I just love divisional counters, really. I'm crazy for divisional counters. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, you can go ahead and subscribe. Or if you like being an absolute star, you can always go ahead and donate. So goodbye for now, and I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are and whatever you're doing.